Hi everyone, wanted to give you a little bit of quick help on this chapter's application assignment. One of the first things you have to know going in is the fundamental accounting equation, which is that assets minus liabilities equals net worth. In accounting you say owner's equity, but the concept is the same. So in order to find out your net worth, you add up all the assets that you own, you add up all the liabilities that you owe, then you'll do the quick subtraction to find your net worth. So I gave you a list of assets and liabilities over here, and so what we're going to do is put together our balance sheet to calculate our net worth. So I have cash of $150, checking account with $500 in it, a savings account with $1,000. I have a house that is currently worth, the market value of it is $150,000. I still owe $120,000. So the 150, what it's currently worth, goes up in assets. What I owe goes down in liabilities. I have a car that is currently worth $7,000. I also owe $4,000 on it. Personal property, everything that's in my house, totals up to somewhere around $8,000. I also, let's just, for example's sake, say I own $2,000 in bonds. I have a 401k with $23,000 in it, and the other liability that I have is just some credit cards where I have some debt there that I'm going to try to get rid of pretty quickly. So let's start filling out the balance sheet here. First thing is to figure out my total monetary assets. My monetary assets, otherwise known as cash or cash equivalents, is going to be the stuff that is either cash itself or stuff that I can really quickly turn into cash. So that's going to be these three items here. So cash, obviously, my checking account and my savings account. Everything else is not as quickly turned into cash because I would have to sell it. I would have to sell bonds. I would have to sell stocks. I would have to sell a house, car. And I might lose some value there. So let's say we're going to add these up. And so for my example, I have $1,650 in monetary assets. Next is my tangible assets. So tangible assets are the things that I can see and touch. So that's my house. I'm also going to add in my car, and then finally I'm going to add in the personal property that I have. The final category in my assets is the investment assets. So these are things like stocks and bonds and retirement accounts, generally where I've invested in some type of financial instrument. And that's going to be bonds, obviously, and then the money that I have in my 401k. It's valued at $23,000. It's probably actually composed not of cash, but of stocks and bonds, things like that. So now all that's left here under assets is just to total up what we have so far. So my total assets are $191,650. Next item is to look at my liabilities. So we have short-term and long-term liabilities. Short-term liabilities are things that I generally expect to pay off within 1 year. So under that, I would say, well, credit cards. My goal is to try to get rid of that debt within 1 year. And then long-term liabilities are things that are going to take me more than a year. So in that category, I'm going to say it's going to take me more than a year to pay off that house, and then my car's on a payment plan, and I plan to pay it off, let's say next year. So I'll put that under long-term as well. So then the total of my liabilities, pretty simple addition problem. We add up the short-term and long-term liabilities. So my total liabilities are $130,000. To calculate my net worth, again, pretty straightforward. I take my total assets, I subtract out my total liabilities. That's going to give me my net worth. So here we go. Assets minus liabilities. And I get my net worth at being $61,650. It's good that I have a positive net worth. Obviously, that should be the goal. And then over time, hopefully what we can do is just see that grow and grow over my lifetime. Now this problem asks you to do one extra thing, which is to do the total of your liabilities plus net worth. And what this is going to do is allow me to check my math, because if I've done everything right, my liabilities plus my net worth should equal my total assets. And I can get that just by rearranging this equation up here. So just to make sure we're doing everything right, let's say, well, my total liabilities plus my net worth comes out to, yep, the same thing my assets were. So it looks like we did it right.